Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Knicks starter issues warning on Heat Maniac Jimmy Butler. Ahead of their next matchup, New York Knicks forward Josh Hart had some strong words when asked about Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler. He told reporters on April 2 that Jimmy kind of does side quests during the year until about April. Then he starts locking in. I'm sure people are going to see that maniac competitive side now that he's done with the side quests and he's on to the main quest. The question that prompted Hart's animated response has yet to be reported. But the Knicks starter does have recent, first-hand experience with Butler's competitive psyche in the playoffs. Miami beat New York 4-2 in the second round of the 2023 postseason. Despite missing Game 2 with an ankle injury, Butler finished the series averaging 24.6 points, 7.2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.6 steals, and 1.2 blocks. And to Hart's credit, each of those numbers are higher than the All-Stars' regular season averages for 2022 to 2023. New York's 2 victories came in Game 2, which Butler missed, and Game 4. Both on their home floor. Butler would go on to lead the Heat to the NBA Finals, where they suffered a gentleman's sweep, 4-1 via the Denver Nuggets. But this comment from Josh Hart is just the latest wrinkle in his complex history with Miami. According to StatHead, Josh Hart has won 8 of 13 regular season matchups against the Heat. Those 8 victories have come in 4 different uniforms over 7 career seasons. And that includes 1 game-winning 3, in a season he was shooting just 30% from deep, as a member of the Portland Trail Blazers. But, and it's unfortunate for Josh's winning record, they've also met in the playoffs. His record against Miami in the postseason is that of last year's postseason series with the Knicks, 2 wins and 4 losses. Everyone knows that you can't win them all in any sport. But in last year's playoffs, Hart's losses to the Heat transcended the hardwood. There's no indication that the Knicks forward was throwing shade at Butler, but the two do have a recent history. Miami star forward missed that aforementioned Game 2 against New York because of a controversial injury. Butler rolled his ankle while being fouled by Hart in the fourth quarter. The Heat still managed to win Game 1, and Butler only missed 1 additional game, but Hart's reputation was questioned, and still is, on Twitter. One simple Hart dirty player search query will show you that. Of course, it didn't help his case that when asked about the injury post-game, he was candid about the play. Jimmy turned his ankle. "I don't know what you guys want me to say about that," Hart told the New York Post. "Playing defense, obviously there was a collision. Unfortunately, he turned his ankle. You guys seen the play. Trust that this incident is being considered along with Hart's comments prior to the next Miami and New York game." The shorthanded Knicks roll into the matchup fresh off of back-to-back losses, and still without Julius Randle and OG Anunoby. The Miami Heat, on the other hand, are rolling, coming off back-to-back wins. And it's going to take Josh Hart, among others, stepping up if the New York Knicks are to avoid 3 straight losses. Pat Riley delivered a brutal message to the Heat after LeBron James' departure in 2014. While most executives might need time to accept the departure of their franchise player, Heat president Pat Riley was unshaken after LeBron James said goodbye in the summer of 2014. According to Udonis Haslem, Riley sent a message directly to the remaining players that summer and threatened to start over if they didn't get it together and move on from the loss. "Get y'all sh*t together, the king ain't here no more," Riley said, per Haslem. "Everybody can go. I'll start this all over." LeBron first joined the Heat back in 2010, after trying and failing for years to bring a championship to Cleveland. With an opportunity to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in South Beach, James couldn't pass it up and he quickly set to work on maximizing his time there. With the help of the Big Three and head coach Erik Spoelstra, James would lead the Heat to 2 championships in 4 straight trips to the finals, and by the time he was up for free agency, there was nothing left for him to accomplish there. Even so, James' decision to leave in 2014 left a hole in Miami's lineup that they were unable to fill. Despite massive pressure from Pat Riley, they finished 10th in their first season without the King and have yet to win another title with the new regime under Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Today, while the Heat are still working toward their next championship, they've been among the best teams in the East for years now, and there is a sense of pride in how they've managed to recover after losing such a big-time superstar. While much of the details behind LeBron's move to Cleveland that year are a mystery, he had been preparing for his return long before he announced the decision to the world. The feeling around the league at the time was that the Heat had run their course. After just 4 years, Wade was starting to show his age, and Chris Bosh was just not good enough to fill the role of the secondary offensive option. With new rising competitors, including the Golden State Warriors, LeBron would be at a disadvantage if he stayed with the Heat. Compare that situation to the one in Cleveland, with a young Kyrie Irving, and it's easy to see why the lure was so strong. Of course, Pat Riley is not blameless for LeBron's exit. While nobody knew it at the time, he tried to get James to take a pay cut that summer, and it was the final nail in the coffin for their working relationship. Feeling betrayed by Riley made it an easier choice for LeBron that summer when it came time to settle on his next destination. In truth, he had everything to gain by returning home to play with Kyrie, and it allowed him to extend his stretch of dominance in the East by several years. Report: Miami Heat could be in danger of losing valuable coach to Charlotte Hornets. Miami Heat assistant coach Chris Quinn reportedly could be among the early candidates to become the Charlotte Hornets' newest head coach once Steve Clifford steps down from his position after the season in order to assume a role in the team's front office. Before beginning his stint coaching the Heat, Quinn suited up for the franchise during his playing career, as he spent the first 3 seasons of his NBA career in Miami. He averaged 5.6 points and 2.2 assists per game while shooting 39.7% from three-point range across 168 total regular season games with the franchise. Quinn started out his NBA coaching career with the Heat in the 2014-15 season as a player development coach. Over the years, he has become Erik Spoelstra's right-hand man as an assistant. The 40-year-old has been considered for other open NBA coaching positions in the past, as he was linked to the Milwaukee Bucks job after the team opted to fire Mike Budenholzer following Milwaukee's loss to the Heat in the first round of the 2023 NBA playoffs. The Hornets have been one of the worst teams in the NBA so far in the 2023-24 regular season. At 18-57, they own the number 13 seed in the Eastern Conference, ahead of only the Washington Wizards and Detroit Pistons in the conference standings. Charlotte is also riding a 3-game losing streak and owns a poor record of 2-8 over its last 10 contests. In Clifford's most recent game as Charlotte's head coach, the team lost to the Boston Celtics by 14 points on April 1. The play of Grant Williams, who dropped 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists against his former team, was one of the few bright spots for the Hornets in the loss. If the Hornets do indeed poach Quinn from the Heat, it could prove to be a big loss for a Miami organization that is trying to get over the championship hump. The franchise is still looking for its first title since 2013, when the team was led by LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Chris Quinn? Leave your opinion in the comments.